Good day, I'm Samantha Allen and this is your GIS News for December 20. The trade in scrap metal will resume in January 2013 after being banned earlier this year due to unabated reports of the theft of infrastructure items and legitimate metal supplies. At a press briefing Wednesday, Industry, Investment and Commerce Minister Anthony Hilton said the ban only served to drive the trade underground and undermine the very effort to prevent the incidence of theft.
We need the scrap metal trade. However, let us make it patently clear. This activity will be guided by very stringent rules and regulations with appropriate penalties for non-compliance. It cannot be a laissez-faire, ad hoc approach where traders and exporters do as they please.
When the trade resumes in January, traders of industrial scrap metal will need a special permit to export and will also be charged a regulatory fee. Non-industrial scrap exporters, meanwhile, will have to face more stringent eligibility criteria, apply for new licenses, and possess tax compliance certificates and other specified permits. Each exporter will also have to post a $7 million bond, a part of which will be used to compensate victims of theft. 3 central multi-user sites, permanently manned by customs and security officers, will be set up. Exporters who breach the regulations will lose their license and face a fine of up to $3 million. In the meantime, a website will be set up for members of the public to lodge complaints. Government and education officers have signed a heads of agreement for outstanding liabilities owed by the state. The education officers agreed to forego $243 million in retroactive salary payments from more than $900 million owed to them under an agreement signed in 2007. The sum represents 2 years' worth of back pay. At the signing, Minister with responsibility for the public service Horace Daly praised and thanked the education officers for making the sacrifice in the national interest.
And it goes to show that when you have dialogue, when you sit around the table and discuss issues, you can find solutions to these problems.
Government is agreeing to pay the outstanding monies over 2 years, with the first payment scheduled for June 2013. Minister Daly says the signing was part of a deliberate effort to finalize various agreements and contracts agreed to over the years, which have not yet been brought to fruition.
The total outstanding to the public sector workers, it comes up to about 1.5% of GDP. And we have programmed over the medium term to honor all the obligations that the government we have found and those that we have negotiated since January of this administration.
Cabinet has approved the introduction of policy standards for streetlights. Information Minister Senator Sandria Faulkner says the policy will outline the type and characteristics of streetlights to enable the use of the most energy efficient and cost-effective units.
There are over 93,000 streetlights across Jamaica, and projected cost at the current rate with the current streetlights we have for the electricity bill is $2.8 billion. The implementation of this policy will be underpinned by the requisite regulations and will result in significant savings on streetlight costs.
Senator Faulkner says Cabinet has also authorized the exploration of feasible options for the introduction of light-emitting diode LED streetlights on a wide scale. Government is calling on Jamaicans to partner with the state to help improve the country's standard of living. Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Transport, Works and Housing, Dr. Maurice Guy, says now is the time for all to forget partisan matters and play a positive role in developing the nation.
As a government recognizing that the recession is not yet over, having recognized that in terms of development in this country, that the government alone cannot do it. This government has embarked on development of a public-private partnership initiative, wherein we are encouraging investors in all areas.
He was speaking at a handing over ceremony of an ambulance to the Highgate Health Center in St. Mary recently. The ambulance, bought through a public-private partnership agreement, was funded by the United Friends of Highgate. And finally, the Customs Department says it has collected over $150 million in additional revenue this year as it clamps down on individuals who under-invoice their goods. Between September and December, an additional $61.6 million was collected from the undervaluing of motor vehicles, while an additional $88.7 million was collected from other entries. The success is as a result of flagged entries being detected and referred to the valuation unit within Customs. The under-invoicing of goods, which is a breach of the Customs Act, can result in the forfeiture of goods or payment of 3 times the value of the goods. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Samantha Allen. Thanks for watching.